Good morning, Merry Christmas Eve. I look very nice today. I hope you're all doing well. Ah, fuck. Oh, damn. Sorry, I just scratched a very interesting part of my head to scratch at the moment. Okay, give me a second. This is just like another conscious random thought video, but do y'all ever think about how technically, I don't know, do y'all believe in soulmates? I don't know if I do. It would be a nice concept. I'd let's just say I can think passively about things like reincarnation or life after death, like afterlife, all that shit. Passively, just on some, it would be nice if that were a thing. Or at least in some ways. Like, if there's a hell, then I don't know if I'm going to heaven or hell, but, if it ends up just being reincarnation, that's cool. But soulmates, I feel like, are very interesting. I don't believe in twin flames or anything like that. I think that's just something made up so that those toxic ass spiritual people with really good dick can keep manipulating others to keep fucking with them. Anyway, I don't know. I remember once I was at a dinner with someone's family and they were arguing at the table if do you think soulmates are a thing, or do you think that love isn't exactly real or not as real as people say it is. It was quite an interesting conversation. And the guy I was with's brother was like, oh, I think love is really just time and place. Like, it could happen with anyone and anything, and it's not nearly as important or nearly as intense as people make it out to be. And I think that's kind of let's just say that gives me a very visceral emotion deep in my heart. Like, it makes me want to throw up, it gives me a heartburn, it makes me upset, it makes me disgusted, and it makes me angst all at once. But it also kind of makes me contented. Because if I'm ever unhappy in a relationship, the thing I tell myself is, well, I've dated a lot of fucking people. I fucked a lot of people in my life. Very short amount of time of fucking, you know how I get around. And then I just was like, yeah, every time I need to leave a relationship, if it's not just me wanting to work on myself or needing time to myself, another factor is I remind myself this could be with anyone. They're not going to be the only person I can have fun with in my entire life. There's always going to be someone else to play video games with, go to a mall with, get some food with. There's always going to be someone else that will be down to hold me at night or fuck me right. These are just things that are fundamental truths. But of course, it still won't replace whatever love or energy the other person had before. Trust me, after multiple lessons, I never learned my lesson with rebounds. I never fucking do. Sometimes they work, sometimes, but usually whenever it's more than just oh, it's just some dude who gave me dick, I just need to find some dude who can provide better dick or more interesting jokes or yada yada yada. If it's just a fling, I can rebound relatively easy because, men are very easy. But, not to say I'm not either, of course. Hell, I've been telling you about my sexcapades endlessly. You know how I am. I don't know. It's just uncomfortable but comfortable to know that truly you never have to be in a situation, but that's scary. It makes me question the fundamentals of marriage. What's the point of getting married if, one day, you could waste 15 years, or I guess some people can enjoy those 15 years and see it as time well spent, but you will go, oh, I don't want to be with you anymore. Something changed abruptly. Maybe we changed separately, or maybe I just got tired of something, but I no longer want you around. And then it's terrifying. You could just, I don't know. Whenever I read about people where it's like, oh, hey, turns out our partners were cheating on each other. Why don't we just start dating together instead? Then it just ends up being, I don't know, it's comforting to know, okay, they managed to leave their toxic ass, disgusting partners who put them at risk for STDs and heartbreak, and they found solace in each other. But isn't it kind of depressing, but also very wholesome that it's we had to date other people in order to meet each other? I think that's terrifying. Plus, some of my exes were met through other exes, even unintentionally. I've dated dudes and then said, fuck you, I'm taking all the cool people in your friends list. And then somehow a domino chain of effect event can happen where it's one ex from I don't know, 2018 can suddenly do a domino effect for all types of amazing people I meet to one day meet my future lover. Which actually, that has happened a handful of times. Sometimes it also just can be I will just follow random people who just pop up in my recommendeds online, and then it's oh, you seem kind of cool, let's talk. And then it'll be oh shit, I didn't know you and my ex went to college together and have played Dungeons and Dragons together. That's a little, I don't know how to feel about that. Like, if me and my exes were on good terms, it would be that, oh, that's fucking cool. But it's not, so I don't know. I don't know, it's just kind of terrifying. Like, I don't know if that's fate or whatever, if one even believes in fate, if they believe in soulmates. Like, I don't know. But I guess if you do believe in fate and soulmates, what I'm wondering is, like, okay, so are you just fated to, like, break the hearts of a million people and get your heart broken a million times to learn a bunch of very, very, very hyper specific lessons to use on your, like, soulmate? Because if so, I think that's strange, and I don't understand why. If there is any sort of higher being or whatever, I don't know why they would plan that sort of shit. It just seems strange to me. Not to shit on God or whatever God exists or the universe or whatever, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I would be kind of pissed if I ended up dying and then it's like, hey, it's me, God. I just want to admit all those times you got sexually assaulted were to, like, help you out with your ego. They were to help you, like, persevere and go through enough mental shit to get with this one motherfucker. And it's like, I don't know. You could have just. Like, you didn't have to put me through so much trauma and, like, give me all your toughest battles. You could have just had that nigga move to my area and made us childhood friends, and I think we would have had the same fucking outcome. But okay, like, that would piss me off. I choose to not believe in. I don't know. I don't really know if I believe in fate truly. It's a nice passive concept, but not one I put too much thought into. Like, I believe I can work hard towards multiple outcomes and get the one I desire best if I really try towards it. I know the blueprint to them. Like, I'm gonna know, okay, if I want to be a film director, I have to do A, B, and C. But to get to X, Y, and Z, I already know the domino effect of all the things I'll have to do to get certain paths in my life. I don't know. Fate is a scary thing. It's scary to know that you have so many options. Like, I remember semi, but not really related, on my 18th birthday, I remember it was like, holy shit. Like, a month ago, I was just some 17-year-old stuck in my mom's house, but now it's like I have options. If I wanted to, I could, like, move to Cuba and go find a sugar daddy and have, like, 8 of his kids and, like, have the rest of my life just living out there. I could own a gun. I have so much life potential spread out for me. I don't know, like, technically, you could change your life at any single given point, and I think it's kind of scary to think about. Like, if I did just decide up this moment, I'm gonna take a plane ticket to Las Vegas and never fucking look back. Like, my life could change entirely than whatever path I'm currently on. It's scary, but it's, like, exciting. And also depressing and sad. But, your life can change at any time. Like, you could have a house fire, or you could be attacked by your mother one day and be forced to move, and a whole bunch of shit. I don't know. You know what I mean? So I guess with soulmates, like, another example is once I was in this Discord group, and there were 3 guys who were, like, the finest of the finest. They had bank, they had looks, they had humor, and they were relatively nice. So it was like, yeah, I could be down to see what this happens. And I kind of went into the picnic knowing, okay, these are my 3, like, biggest, like, most high percentage of, like, hitting it off with the dudes. But if I wanted to, I could, like, flirt with anyone at this party and probably have success. And then a bunch of events happened where I guess I went, I'm gonna date the blonde, blue-eyed twink that is in the area. He is friendly and social, and I hope this becomes a good relationship. And it ended up being a fucking nightmare. But I got a lot of things out of it, I guess. I learned some things about myself. So if fate does exist, then I don't know, some higher being or whatever, or higher power is just like, we need to keep giving to me a really, really shitty, traumatizing exes so she can have fun life stories to tell other people, to learn from her, and to also, I don't know, reach a state of, like, enlightenment in her own head. That kind of fucking sucks. I know it's for a good cause, possibly, but it's still fucking, you can, like, God can give you your toughest fucking battles. You can have the right to say, these battles suck, and kind of fuck you for giving me to them. I know they'll make me, like, a stronger, cooler, awesomer person, but I can say this shit fucking sucks. You can take an exam that will probably get you a college degree and say the exam sucks. So I think I can say, stop giving me your tough, or make your toughest battles a little bit, like, just, Anyway, but at that party, it's like, yeah, I had multiple options. If I didn't decide I'm gonna go with this dude named Blaze, and I'm gonna hang out with him in San Jose every once in a while during this pandemic, get some food, go to Target, go to the drive-in movies. If I didn't go with him, then it's like, yeah. Like, and I could have stayed on that path with him. I could have overlooked him stalking his ex, and I could have overlooked a bunch of his bullshit. And I could have just said, okay, he said he wants to marry me, and I'm going to get hitched with him. I don't know what my fucking life would be if by now we were married or engaged, because it's like, let's just say his family is the type of trash I would not want to be associated with for long. And I know that's fucked up, but it's like, it's one of those things I can say because, one, fuck that nigga. Two, fuck his family. His family sucks. You can't say it when you're dating someone, but sometimes people's families are fucking disgusting, awful, condescending, cunty train wrecks. That's all I gotta say. But if I didn't go for him, I could have easily said, okay, I'm gonna go for this guy Tam. He's the comedian, funny as hell, into polyamory. Like, let's see how things go. And I could have gotten my heart broken in an entirely different way, or maybe I don't know. There's a whole bunch of thousands of diverging paths I could have took, but it's like, there's alternate universes out there where I married Tam, and now have like orgies all the time with my tech bro drug dealer boyfriend Tam. Like, that is possible. There's alternate realities where it's like I used the right charm on another person and could, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, I could just decide to flirt with a random stranger in the street, and then just because, like, the sheer luck of anything, I could be married with several kids with them in several years. Or dead. I don't know, that's kind of like a scary but cool potential. I don't know. There's something utterly terrifying about knowing the person you love you might actually not love as deeply as you think, or might not be the best possible person for you. Or that one day you could just like think you're in a happy relationship, then you meet someone at your job, or cross paths with them in the street, or meet them someone else at a party, and you're just like, holy shit, there's no fucking going back. You can choose to stay with your other partner and persevere. Like, some people stay in loveless marriages and just decide, okay, my definition of love isn't some passionate, like, heart-wrenching thing. It's just, I chose this person and I'm gonna tolerate them for the rest of my life, and that's their version of love. And but then you could also be with someone else and have a passionate, fiery, toxic relationship. I don't know, it's just nice to know there's so many versions of ourselves that we can unlock in other people, and so many like different life choices we can have. I think that's tight. I think it's fucking cool. It also gives me heart palpitations and chest pains just thinking about. Like, you could be dating someone and not even realize you have a whole list of things you fucking hate about them. Or a whole bunch of red flags that you missed that totally would have bitten you in the ass. Like, this one guy, I thought I fucking adored him, but in hindsight, it's like, oh yeah, he was actually manipulative as fuck. He kept begging me to be a poly relationship, or open relationship, and I kept saying, nigga, we could just be fuck buddies or friends with benefits, because I'm very monogamous, and he just kept trying to convince me, and it's like, sir, if you have to convince the person you're monogamously dating that they should be poly, like, just find a new bitch. Just find a new bitch. I'm not your soulmate then. But ironically, he decided, okay, I'm gonna stick it out with Timia, and I choose to believe that he was faithful. There's one encounter that I don't want to think about right now, but I like to choose to believe that he was faithful. But I imagine that if he kept things going, he probably would have inevitably cheated on me or been married with 5 kids. He wanted 5 kids. And then we'd be in a, I can imagine one of two things. We'd either be one of the best fucking couples in the world because our energy was unmatched, or two, one of us would go missing. Like, I'd either just one day just run off with the fucking SUV and never come back, or he'd just be on wanted posters. I mean, not one. Sorry, I would be on wanted posters. He'd be on milk cartons. Yeah, yeah. He was not. He was very condescending and argumentative at times, and had a very bad. He was like a pick me for his homies, if you know what that means. Or you could think that you love someone, and then you one day wake up like a year later and you're like, holy shit, that guy was racist the whole time, and his family was racist too. I can't believe that I forgot that his family was racist. I guess they were like casual racist in a way that my artistic brain couldn't decipher, but now that I'm older, it's like, oh, so that's what they meant when they said that comment about, like, that's not good. You could think something's what you want, but it's not really what you want. Or maybe it's not like your final destination, despite thinking that it is. Marriage could not be your end game. You could think, I'm going to get married to this person and live happily ever after, and then you could get divorced 6 months later, and then next thing you know, you're back at nightclubs getting dicked down by other people. That's kind of scary. A lot of time could be committed to someone just for them to not even be your end game if you even have one. A soulmate without fate is just kind of depressing because it's like then it's truly just a numbers game on like what city are you in, that like does the city, are you like, like if you're born in fucking Alaska and you're around like fucking shitty blonde-haired blue-eyed conservative skinny pricks and you really want yourself a nigga from Oakland, then it's like okay, you're probably not gonna find that shit in Alaska, so you might settle for like whatever Alaskan guys you have and just save your ideal type for your fantasies. Or you might go, fuck this shit, I'm moving to the Bay, and then date a bunch of dudes from Oakland. Respect to that, by the way. So, it's a numbers game of okay, how many people in your city actually are your type? Are you willing to settle if you cannot find people who are like that? Do you care if you are compatible in like anything about interests or hobbies or lifestyle or life goals or anything like that? Or do you just like want someone to be pleasant? Or are you one of those people who don't care about someone being pleasant at all? Or even like likable, or like you just marry for the sake of this person is probably going to be the most convenient for me to marry, versus marrying for actual deep rooted love or something in the middle. It really is just like a numbers game. And I think it's so soulless and depraved, but also kind of heart touching when you think about that, because it's like you could just choose who you want. And there's a million people out there, and you might get what you want, or you might not, or you might figure out what you thought you wanted is not what you actually wanted at all. So, anyway, I guess when my ex's brother mentioned that at the dinner table, the whole, oh, I think love is just like, it's not nearly as intense as people make it out to be. It's just a time and a place thing. You could have a romance with fucking anybody ever under whatever like circumstances just so happen to be convenient for you at that time. And it's true. Like, like let's say someone believed in the multiverse theory. I could one day be in a happy relationship with a guy and then, let's say he got hit by a car. I would have to find someone else. And then next thing you know, I could date a whole bunch of people who also have like the exact same things in common with me, or who I love for reasons that I didn't even know I would like experience love in those types of way. Like you could think I've dated all these types of men and I finally found someone who does not fit my past type at all and is entirely unique, and I'm gonna see things through with them. And then so you could stay on the path. Like if that person didn't get hit by a car, maybe you two would have been married until you're 70 and one of you passes away first. Or maybe you could like simply have a one night stand and not talk to like 2 weeks later. It's one of those things. You know what I mean? Oh, this video is getting a little long. I'll wrap it up in a second. But yeah, I just think I don't know. It makes me happy to know. It actually kind of fills me with bliss to know that no matter what, like whether something, I could be dating someone, whether a tragedy happens or we just stop feeling love for each other or feeling compatible or find out we have too many differences to work past, that it's like no matter what, I can still find love on the planet. Like really. Like I recently, I don't want to talk too deeply about it, but actually no, I don't want to talk about my recent thing with you, but let's just say there's been multiple times where I thought I'd never find someone again, and then I find like a fuck ton of people who actually treat me very well and make me learn a whole bunch of interesting things about myself. And I just think it's cool. Like 1 year you could be like, I'm the most wholesome person in the world, and then a week later you could be going through the most intense breakup of your life, and then a few months later or even a year later you could meet like 5 other dudes or 6 other dudes who make you forget about said ex. Anyway, I love soulmates as a concept, but it terrifies me because it's like you just never know. You're just supposed to date a bunch of people and find out who's supposed to be your destined soulmate. And if there is no such thing as like destiny or soulmates, then it's just dating whoever you can for as long as you want and just hoping you make the right decision in the end if you're the type to get married or if you just decide to be monogamous and stick with them. Anyway, blessings. Peace out. Happy Christmas. Love you. Peace out. Bye bye.